All right.
Hello guys, I hope you are doing great today. And this is Abu Talib speaking, and she is Katie. So if you can listen to us, just please let us know. And we are going to talk about health-related questions today. Can you please introduce yourself, Katie?
Hi, I'm Katie from Gloucester in the United Kingdom. I've been an English teacher for the last 8 years, and I specialize in teaching IELTS. I live in a house in the southwest of England with my partner and 2 black cats.
So, hello guys, if you can hear us, please let us know.
Yeah, but I can't find you on the Facebook page. I can't find our live stream.
Let me just, do you know my page? Click
So
on my page.
share it.
Yes. I'm going to share it on Skype. Please click on it. I think from there, you should be able to share it. Hello guys, within a minute we are going to discuss about our today's session. Today's session is all about health related questions, and if you can hear us, please let us know, and please share this video with your friends so that they can also join us.
Yeah, Abu, I can't share it on my page now.
You can't?
No.
I think you... Click on the share button. If you click on the share button, what do you see actually?
There's no share button. There is no share button.
Go down. Yes, go down. Just scroll down. Just scroll down. I think you'll get it. Just scroll down. Okay.
No, there's no share button.
Just scroll down. I think you are on the top of the page. Just scroll down, and I think you should get it. Okay, I can share it in your group. What is your group name, please?
No, I can share it with my group.
Okay. Did you find it?
Yeah.
Did you find it, Katie?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
If you find it, that's fine. Okay, guys. Sorry for keep you waiting. Today we are going to talk about an important topic, a very hot topic: health, fitness, and diet. You know that in IELTS test we often get questions related to health, fitness, and also in diet. So what we are going to do, Katie is going to ask me a question and I'm going to answer, and then I'm going to ask the same questions to her, and then she's going to answer using my ideas, and then again she's going to answer the question using her ideas, and then again I'm going to answer the question using her ideas, so that you can have a broad understanding about this topic. Obviously, we are going to share some hot vocabulary that can help you to increase your lexical resource mark. So, Katie, are you ready today?
I'm ready.
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Abu, what do you do to keep fit?
Okay, are you ready to ask me any question related to health?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Abu, what do you do to keep fit?
Well, it's a good question. I'm a very sporty person. In fact, I tend to do a number of sports. Especially when I was a child, I played different kinds of sports. Especially swimming was one of my favorite. This is because my father was a trainer and he used to help me how to swim well. To be perfectly honest, I was one of the top swimmer in my age group. Although these days I don't go to the gym quite often, but I try to maintain a routine. So basically, I go to the gym 3 times on average in a week. So I think this helps me to keep fit.
Cool. Good. Um, okay, Abu, do you want me to feedback with my own version?
Yes, please. Would you like
Okay.
to give your feedback on my answer, please?
Oh, right, feedback. So some great expressions like top swimmer of my age group. What did you mean by top swimmer of your age group, Abu?
Well, by this top swimmer of my age group, I meant that I was one of the best performer in my age group, means within my friends group, and because I could do well, and that is why I became one of the top performers in my age group.
Good.
So guys, I have used one word. What is the word you have noticed? So top swimmers in my age group. And yes, please.
And it's a good co-location to maintain a routine. It's a
Yes,
good co-location. Maintain a routine.
maintain a routine. Yeah.
Hey,
What
Abu, do
else
you
did?
want me to answer the same question?
Yes, please. Would you like to? So, what do you do to keep fit?
Okay, I'm I'm not that sporty a person, and I don't really like doing a lot of sports. But I do like doing Pilates, which is an exercise that helps you strengthen your core muscles. And the reason I like doing it so much is because it gives you a point of focus when you exercise. You have to concentrate on your core muscles all the time you're doing the exercise. And for that reason, it's very calming on the mind. You don't let your mind wander onto the shopping list or the problems that you have at work. It's just focused on your center, and it's very, very grounding to do that kind of exercise.
Okay, so that was a quite nice answer. You have extended your answer well. You have used one word, core muscle. What did you mean by that word, core muscle?
They're kind of like stomach muscles. So the core is the very center, like an apple core is the very center of the apple with the seeds. So a
Okay.
core of a person is like the stomach region, but core muscles are those strong muscles that hold your back up and hold your stomach in the center of your body.
Okay. So maybe we can go for the next question if you are ready.
Yeah. Um, are you good at sports, Abu?
Well, I would say yes or no. When I was a child, I was a very sporty person, which means tended to play sports, different kinds of sports. Especially, I was good at cricket, and even though I do say to myself, I was a good all-rounder, a batting all-rounder, I would say. These days, I'm not as much as I was in the past. Besides, the pace of life is so hectic, so I don't really find much time to play cricket. Rather, these days it seems that I prefer to watching cricket or sports on TV rather than playing them in the field, I would say.
Mm.
So you could count me as a good cricketer. Maybe, yeah, I would say.
Hmm. So, what did you mean by even though I do say it myself?
Well, because I didn't want to boast myself. So even though I do want to say it, or I do say it myself, right?
I
I
do
do
say it
say
myself. Yeah.
it myself. Actually, by this phrase, I meant that because I was talking about my ability, my skills. So I think it's kind of rude to say to admire myself. So that's why I said that even though I do say it myself, I think. What do you think about this expression? Do you think it's
I
a
think
good
it's
expression?
very good from a British point of view because we don't like boasters. We don't like to say, I was a really sporty child, even though I
Yeah.
do say it myself. And then you're not saying, I'm really big headed. You're saying, well, it's reality. I was good, even though I do say it myself. So I think that's a very good expression to use.
So even though I do say it myself, this means,
Hmm.
dear viewers, do you understand what I meant? I meant that I was trying to say something good about me. So I do have to be polite. In this case, I used this phrase. I think you guys can also use this phrase. Like, even though I do say it myself, I was one of the top performers in my class. And the teachers always liked me because of my excellent academic performance.
Cool.
Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, would you like to answer the same question, please? So, are you good at sports, really?
Um, well, this is quite sad because I used to be. I used to be a very keen hockey player, and I was also very good at acrobatics. Um, but nowadays, I'm not that fit, to be honest. I spend too much time behind the computer doing and live a very sedentary lifestyle. And maybe I should get back to being a bit fitter than I am. But I tend to like sitting and using the computer rather than going out for a long walk and hiking up a very steep hill.
Okay. So, you are hiking up. Can you hear me, Katie?
Hiking up a very steep hill. Hiking up a very steep hill.
I see.
Hiking up a very steep
So,
hill.
as you said, I think you have used one word, sedentary
Uh-huh.
lifestyle. I
Yeah.
think this phrase is quite new to many. This phrase can be quite new to many of our audiences. Can you
Mhm.
explain a little bit what you meant by this phrase?
You know, when you have a job that involves a computer, you maybe sit down for 8 hours a day behind the computer. And then some people who do that go home and they then watch the TV and they maybe sit in the car and then they sit down watching the TV and then they go to bed and the next day they go and sit behind the computer and they travel in the car and they sit down and watch TV. And that is a sedentary lifestyle. Sedentary is it comes from the word sitting. It's got the same root as the word sitting. So it just means that you sit down all day. You don't move and use your muscles and exercise your heart, which are all very important things that you should be doing. But a sedentary lifestyle has lots of health consequences. that we all know about. But the term in English is sedentary lifestyle.
So in other words, we can say inactive lifestyle,
You can say
right?
inactive lifestyle, yeah, as opposed to an active lifestyle, which is the ideal to have, to be active.
Yeah. So I think because of this sedentary lifestyle, many people suffer from different medical problems.
Hmm.
Can you please mention some of them?
Well, the obvious one is obesity, which just means that your weight is so great that it's affecting your health. So obesity is the first one, but obesity brings with it diabetes, stroke, heart disease, cancer even. So it brings all of those diseases. They're named Western diseases because they're the diseases that people get so much in the West. Now that we've got over tuberculosis or malaria, we suffer from these Western diseases instead.
So I would like to ask you one other question, if you don't mind.
Mhm.
What is the most popular sport in your country?
It has to be football. There's no question about it. It's like so many people are really big football fans. When I was a child, I remember the boys in the school playground kicking around a football every day, every break they had, all the time. And there were everybody had a favorite football team that they were following. So it's like football is the biggest thing in sports in my country.
So dear viewers, can you understand that we are trying to extend almost all of the questions, even if the questions come from the part one, even if you are asked in part one, as part one, even if the questions come from the part one, you can even extend the question as much as you want until you are interrupted. So basically, what the native speaker does, they try to explain, extend, and develop a main idea with examples, support, and more examples so that we can support our views. So that's what she did. She said it has to be football. It is a nice expression, I think. It has to be football
Mm.
because almost every person in my country love loves this sport. Every person has a favorite team in our country. So it's a good expression, as you say. Every person or every all people have favorite teams in our country, right? You said.
The other thing I did was I
So
went
I
into
think
the past and talked about the school playground. I talked about the school playground and the boys kicking a ball around. So that's like a trick to get a higher band score in IELTS. You don't just have to talk
yeah,
about the present. You can skip back to the past. You could even go into
yes,
the
right.
future.
You're right. So if you want me, I can answer the question, or if you ask me the question. Just before answering the question, if you guys can hear us, just let us know if you have any question, or if you find this video informative, you think that this video would be helpful to improve your score, please do share our videos, do share our live session so that other people can benefit from this particular session. Yes, please.
You want another question or do you want the part 2 question?
Maybe you can ask me the same question. I can use a variety of tenses in the same question. Or maybe we can go for part two. Yes, we can go for part two actually. Because yeah.
Okay, yeah. So let's go for part 2. Talk about
Okay.
an activity that you often do to keep healthy. You should say what you do when you started doing this, how often you do it, and explain the benefits you get from this activity.
So should I start, or will I get a minute to think it about?
In the IELTS, you'd get a minute to prepare this. So don't forget, everybody. In the IELTS, you get a minute to think about this before you start.
Maybe I can just
doing it straight on.
Okay, let's try.
Wait for a minute.
Okay, I would just like to tell a story what I do to keep fit. Okay. Well, I have never been so concerned about my health, but when I was a child, I used to play different kinds of sports. I think that really helped me to remain healthy. Just a couple of months ago, I was getting weight, so my wife had suggested me to sign up for the gym membership. And you know, swimming is not only useful or fun, it is also extremely healthy, which is why I decided to do this activity on a regular basis. I think this is why I go to the gym on average 3 times a week. And when I go to the gym, I do not need to call my friend because this is a solitary activity. And I can just go to the gym and wear costumes and put on goggles and then dive in. And after that, I just can escape the world, the rat race world, put the things behind. And this really helps me to improve my mental health. You know, these days people are suffering from stress and work related anxiety. And I think this is a great chance for me to escape this kind of world, the hectic life. Besides, I think there are so many benefits. Firstly, it helps me to control my body weight. This is because when I do this exercise, it burns off my extra calories, and then this is how it helps me to keep my weight under control. And besides that, the researchers have always extolled aerobic exercise, which is good for heart health. And I think swimming is kind of aerobic exercise, and this is really useful for us. And in the future, I think even I have recommended to this particular activity to some of my niece. You know, these days, the young generation, they are always glued to the screens. It's very difficult to drag them away of their home and to encourage them to do some physical activities. And I think if they do this on a regular basis, they can improve their health in a great extent.
Cool, Abu. I think you may have gone slightly over 2 minutes there, so the examiner would have interrupted you.
Okay.
That's great. I wasn't timing, but it felt like a bit more than 2 minutes. Remember, if the examiner interrupts you, you've done well because you've talked for 2 minutes without stopping, and you've done really well. So never worry if the examiner interrupts. Yeah.
Okay. So you meant even if the examiner interrupts us or interrupts me, I do not need to worry about it. I can be relaxed.
If it interrupts too many times, you need to worry. But in a part 2, if the examiner interrupts, you've talked for 2 minutes exactly.
Okay.
They won't let you talk for more than 2 minutes. And you should try and talk for 2 minutes if you can. So
okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Well.
So, dear listeners, did you hear her? Even if you are interrupted when you are delivering your cue card questions, don't be so worried because this much means you have reached your 2 minutes, and the examiner might ask you next question. So if you do well in part 3, you have a better chance to get a good or a high score, right?
Cool. Yeah.
So did you find out anything that we can share to the audiences?
yeah, what does that word extolled mean, Abu? It's a very
Oh,
advanced word, even for a native speaker. And you're going to tell us what this word extolled means.
well, extolling kind of praise. This means doctors have always praised for aerobic exercise or cardiovascular exercise. Praise, admire. This means extol means praise, admire. The expression I have used so far I remember is doctors have long extolled for aerobic exercise, which is good for heart health. This means doctors have always praised aerobic exercises because they are good for health.
Yeah, there's a more old-fashioned expression as well, sung its praises. So doctors tend to sing the praises of exercise, to sing
Yeah,
its praises. But that's quite old-fashioned as well. But extolled is really good. You got lots of collocations in your English, like work-related activity and control body weight and burn excess calories. And those collocations are really, really good because they're words that just go together so well. They're just words that fit together. And if you can learn collocations in that way, you are going to get a high vocabulary score in IELTS.
yeah. I think so control body weight, burn off extra calories, put the things behind, escape the rat race.
Um, yeah, escape the rat race as well. That's one that people tend to know. That's a more common one. But
Okay,
I mean, things like control body weight. If
control.
you
Yeah.
if you don't have the expression control body weight, it's really hard to talk about health in a kind of intelligent way. You could say, I am too fat or I am too thin.
Yeah.
It's hard,
This
it's
means
hard to talk about it in an intelligent way without that collocation.
control body weight is a good expression. It's a good phrase, right?
Yeah, a collocation, words that naturally go together.
Okay. So, dear audiences, if you can hear us, please share this video with your group or with your friends so that they can listen to us. So, Katie, would you like to answer the questions at Q card using my ideas,
Um,
or
can I do
you
it
might?
using mine, Abu? Can I use it doing my ideas?
Of course, you can use these as well. WhatsApp, yeah.
Yeah. Let me use my ideas because I'm going to find it hard to do your ideas and do as well as you did, actually.
Okay.
So one thing I've been doing recently is I've gone on a Weight Watchers diet, which is Weight Watchers is a large organization that have a program where you follow a point system and count the points of everything that you're eating. But I've done it before and I've put the weight back on again afterwards. I've lost a lot of weight, but then I've put it all back on. So this time I'm doing something different, which is while I'm dieting, I'm also doing weight-bearing exercise. So I'm doing a lot of Pilates and concentrating on my core muscles in order that I don't lose muscle tone. Because when you diet, sometimes what happens is that you lose muscle rather than fat. And if you lose that muscle, what happens then is that your metabolism slows down. And when it slows down, you need less food for the same energy. And it means that you are in jeopardy of putting the weight all back on. So this time I'm actually approaching it differently. And I'm trying to build up my core strength and build up my arm muscles by doing planks and sit-ups so that it's not going to happen this time. My metabolism is going to stay strong. And this time I'm going to lose the weight and it's going to stay off forever.
Great. It was cool. You did extremely well. So maybe because you are a native speaker, you can speak smoothly. I think if the listeners listen to us or watch us and pay attention to our videos, they can find something very important which can help them to improve their score. So they can listen back to you, they can listen back to me, they can jot down the notebook, words. So I think you have used some words like put the weight back,
Yeah, put the
lose
weight back on. So I lost the weight and then
back
I
on.
got
What is
fat
it?
again. I got thin and then I got fat again. I put the weight back on.
I said lose oil or lost oil. You said metabolism slows down.
Okay,
What did you mean by
basically,
that?
um,
Metabolism slows down.
so metabolism is the when you digest food, when you eat food, your body turns it to energy. But it depends how much energy you get out of it, depends on your metabolism. If you've got a fast metabolism, like my dad is a case
Okay.
in point, he's got a fast metabolism. He can eat whatever he likes and not put on weight. But if you've got a slow metabolism, even a little few extra calories will make you put on weight. So it's good to have a faster metabolism. But to have a fast metabolism, you need to have strong muscles.
So, dear friends, we are just running out of our time. I mean, because Katie is always busy. I mean, are you today busy, or do you want to stay? Do you want to
I need to
continue?
finish, Abu. I need to finish. I need to take a break.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, thank you for today's session. I think the listeners have learned something new. Even if they have any questions, they can ask us through the page or through my profile. They can directly message me, so I can reply them back. So obviously, if you have any questions, we are here to answer your questions. So hopefully, we'll see you next Saturday. Basically, we'll try to come 2 days a week, and
Mhm.
Saturday and Wednesday at the same time, 9 p.m. Please remember, same time at 9 p.m. on Saturdays and on Wednesdays. So I think this was a quite informative session for you guys. We have tried our best to help you out, and Katie has been extraordinary so far. I think if she's with us and we can improve a lot.
Thank you, Abu. This has been great fun. I
Do
hope
you have anything in mind to say for the audience for the last time?
just if you follow us regularly over the next few weeks, you will get so much native speaker vocabulary, which is going to help you in your IELTS test. Because we're doing our best to collect the really best expressions for you. And
Yep.
if you follow us regularly, you're going to get the benefit of all of those expressions, and you're going to see them in action. So that's a really good thing to see them in action.
So here are the words that we have used so far. So here are the words. Top swimmers in my age maintain a routine, core muscle, even though I do say it myself. Hiking up, sedentary lifestyle, inactive lifestyle. It has to be football, school playground, kicking out, extol praise. Doctors have long extol for aerobic exercise, control body weight, burn of extra calories, put the things behind, escape the rat race, put the weight back on, lost the weight, metabolism slows down, approaching differently, building up. So
Cool.
I think if you can use all of this work, this will greatly help you. So 1 minute, I would just take one more minute if you are fine. I would just would like to read. I would like you to just read out for the audiences, so the audiences know how to pronounce the words. For
Okay.
1 minute. Top
Okay.
swimmers.
I was one of the top swimmers in my age group.
Yeah.
Maintain a routine.
Yeah.
Core muscles.
Great.
Even though I do say it myself.
Even though I do say it myself.
And notice that the way I stress do there. It's not normally stressed, but this time it is. Even though I do say it myself.
Even though I do say it myself. Yep.
Hiking up a steep mountain.
Hiking. Then
Sedentary lifestyle.
sedentary lifestyle, right?
Sedentary. So,
Sedentary.
okay, with that word, yeah, sometimes in English, vowels disappear. So this isn't sedentary, it's sedentary. Sedentary. Sedentary.
Oh, you know, in Bangladesh, we are accustomed to saying it's sedentary, sedentary. So I think it is time to improve sedentary lifestyle.
Sedentary.
Yeah, please go on.
So, obesity, heart disease, it has to be football. School playground.
It has to be.
Kicking out. Kicking out. I think I said kicking about. Kicking about a ball. So basically, the kids in the school playground were kicking about a ball. They were kicking the ball to each other and playing little games of football. It actually wasn't a ball. We weren't allowed a ball. It was a sock, a rolled up sock.
Okay.
Extolled, praised. Doctors have long extolled for aerobic exercise. Control body weight. Burn off extra calories. Escape the rat race. Put the weight back on. Lose the weight. Lost the weight. Metabolism slows down. Approaching differently and build up.
So one word I would like to hear focus on. Differently. We say differently. Is it differently or how do you pronounce the word?
Okay. Again, it's one of those words with lots of vowels in the middle of the word. So a native British speaker will almost certainly say differently, not differently.
Yeah.
They'll delete that middle vowel of the word. It will just
so differently
and run away. Differently.
So it's differently.
Yeah, differently.
Am I right? Differently.
Yeah. So differ, differently. Differ, differently.
Differently.
Differently. Yeah, you're right. Differently.
Yeah. So guys, instead of saying differently, you have to say differently. Thank you. Thank you, Katie. You have been awesome so far. We'll see you again. Thank you.
Bye bye. See you on Saturday, yeah?
See you soon. Yeah.